What's going on, guys? This is Aussie Van Man. Now you might see my bed and my van's in a bit of a mess. Got a bit of a sweat on. It is getting quite warm and we've headed up north to get away from the heat. Problem is it's Memorial Day long weekend and a lot of the spots got taken early. So where I normally stay in Mormon Lake, that spot was gone. Heading up, I was noticing a bit of noise coming from my van. Not good. I was very concerned because I've heard that noise before, and it's shortly after I bought this van. Anyway, so I kept driving. I thought I'd stay in maybe Flagstaff or Munns Park area. So the noise was getting worse and worse. And yeah, I was pretty concerned, I gotta say. I just ended up losing light, so I ended up finding an area in Munns Park, not the best spot. Settled down for the night, stressed out about it all night because I'm pretty sure it was my brakes. When I first got my van, not long after, I thought all the checks had been done on it, but it hadn't been. My brake discs started running on bare metal, and I ended up having to replace my rotors and everything. It cost me a lot of money. Now, moving forward, I knew it was getting close. It's been about 2 years since I had to do my brake pads. I was asking the mechanic last time when I was getting my thermostat fixed, when would be a good time to check the brakes again. He said around 50,000 miles. Now, I haven't done 50,000 miles on them yet. I was around 45,000 miles, so I thought I had a bit more time going from him. I should have listened to my gut feeling, because my gut feeling was telling me to go ahead and get them done. So I had to drive. I got up early this morning and limped it into Flagstaff. I bought a jack, I bought tools, I bought brake calipers, brake pads for the front of the vehicle, because the rear is brake drums and I don't know how to change brake drums, and I doubt I have the tools to do that either. So I'm not playing around with that. Fortunately, I think it's only the front brake pads. Hopefully I haven't done any damage to the rotors. But yeah, you could hear them grinding, so they're probably on bare metal at this point. Not happy about that. Not a good time. I'm stuck in the woods trying to do this out here on the BLM land. Spent about $300 in parts and tools to get this done, so let's go ahead and check it out. See if we can get this done, guys. Yep, there's the Harbor Freight jack that I got. It's a 3-ton jack because this is a pretty big vehicle. Now I've already taken the hubcap off. I've loosened back these lug nuts here. I did have a star wrench to try get those off, but I bought the wrong size one, so it wouldn't work. So I had to use the original tire iron to do it with, which I have to say is not very fun. It's not fun to use. They're not very good at all. So, but I got it done. Now we're gonna jack this thing up. Okay. Luckily, this is a nice, strong jack. Should lift it up, no problem. It's a bit hard to do with one hand laying on the ground, but we're getting it done. As you can see, it's just high enough off the ground to take this off. We're going to take these lug nuts off and pull the wheel off. Okay, there we have. Wheel is off. You can see the calipers down in here. And the brake pads there, they look extremely low, but I think it's the other side that's causing the problem. Now, getting them off, I've already pre-loosened this side. You have these little... There's 2 of these little bolts in here that hold the caliper on. We want to go ahead and take those out. Now, it's going to be stuck on there a bit, so you may have to use your pry bar to sort of bring it off a bit, like that. Now, you don't want to let it hang by the brake line up here. That could cause damage, so we're going to lay it up on top there as we work on it. Okay, so the brake pads are right here on the rotor, and these clips hold them in, so you want to work those off outwards. See the way that they're all the way in and there's not much going on there. You can kind of tell that they're extremely worn and their days are numbered. Now, do not let your fingers touch these rotors. If you're going to grease on the rotors, you risk possibly damaging your pads, and they may not work properly because of the grease on the rotors. Okay, here's a good example. I just took this one off. There's not much left, and if you can see the pitting, that's where the metal sits behind that's holding it in place. So this thing was about to wear through. I feel like on the other side it's already done that. That's why I was hearing the grinding going on. So hopefully my rotor isn't damaged too badly and I can still use it. Okay, now we want to push back the master cylinders here. So we put an old brake pad in there to push them back, and this C-clamp, we work it side to side till they're pushed back. Now I did notice some rusting on my master cylinders there. That could be a problem later, but we're stuck out in the woods right now, so we really can't do anything about that right now. In the future, I feel like they're gonna have to get replaced. Okay, so you can see there I've got them pushed back. I'm just gonna hold them with a C-clamp for now, make sure they don't pop back out. And we shall put the new brake pads in. Here we have the new brake pads. As you can see, they look much nicer, a lot more thickness on them. And these are nice. I got the best ones I could because I want them to last. They're European, ceramic, metallic, and they cost, I think, with tax around $90. So pretty good. We're gonna go ahead and put those on. Here's a little comparison of the two. Look how bad those look. Look how good the new ones look. Big difference. All right, guys, look at that. Brand new brake pads on. Looking good. Now we just got to put the caliper back on. This isn't the one I'm too worried about. It's the one on the other side that I think may be down to bare metal, and that horrifies me. But we're gonna have to go ahead and see how bad it is. Okay, guys, so you want to put this bottom part in first so it lips down in there. Then this part comes in there. And around the back here, these need to be pushed out so you can get the bolts back in, get them to line out. And you want to tighten those up as much as you can by hand. They're not looking very greasy, but these ones don't look too bad. And I add a bit of grease on there to lubricate them. Oh, it's not going in because it's not pushed forward. There we go. And just, if you can get it to go in, just want to go in by hand so you don't cross-thread them. I've got a bit of give there. I'm going to have to put the camera down and do it. Okay, so they're tightened in by hand. Now, since I don't have an engine jack under here, I'm not going to climb under here and tighten them by hand. By socket while it's up in the air. I'm first going to go ahead. What I'm going to do first is put the wheel back on, tighten the wheel on, and drop it down before I go and tighten those up, because I don't want the whole thing coming down on me. But so far so good. But as I said, it's the other side I'm worried about. All right, so you want to go ahead and put the lug nuts on by hand, tighten it down. But you want to make sure when you get them ready to tighten, see how there's a lip there it's got to go on? You want to make sure the wheel's on a lip, so when you tighten it down, it's not pushed off of the actual axle. Okay, as you can see there, we have the wheel tightened down by hand. Now we just got to get the tire on and finish the job. Once I drop it, I'll tighten even more. Okay, so I've got it about as tight as I can while in the air. Now we're going to drop it down and tighten it more. It's a twist. Oh, that went down quicker than I thought it would. Alright guys, now I'm under the vehicle. Now that we've dropped it, tighten that wheel on, put the hubcap back on. Now you can go ahead and tighten with the socket the bolts that hold the caliper in. Okay, caliper is bolted back on. Now, you do need to pump those master calipers back down, but right now we're not going to do that right now because we still have to do the other side. So let's go ahead and do the other side. Okay guys, we've got the other side off, all ready to go, but I got the first brake pad off and it didn't look too bad. It was looking pretty good actually. But the second backside plate, that was the culprit. Definitely grinding on bare metal. Look at that. You can see the rings coming through, but that's where on this corner it was bare metal grinding on my rotor. It's definitely caused some wear, and I thought I saw it when I had my head under there. It's definitely worn my rotor. I'm praying that it hasn't worn it too bad to the point I'm gonna need that rotor replaced, because the rotor itself, just the part, is $400. Now pulling off a rotor and putting a new one on, I have no idea how to do that. That could very well be beyond my expertise in this. It's hot out here. I can't do it anyway because I don't have the parts or tools to even try to attempt to do that. So we're gonna go ahead and just put the new brake pads on, and we're gonna take it for a test drive after this and see how she acts. But yeah, now another thing, dirty hands. I was here to do an oil change, so possibly while I'm here with all the tools out, I may do the oil change as well, possibly. Depends how exhausted I feel. I may have a bite to eat first. And in the future, there's something else I want to get. Now look at those springs. You see all the flaking and rust on those springs? So the protective coating is flaking off of my springs. I did get told a few years ago that those would need to be replaced. I haven't done it yet, but I think in the future I may go ahead and get those springs replaced, maybe even the shock absorbers. I've also been thinking about putting a 2-inch lift on this thing and put some real chunky off-road tires out there, because I do go off-road quite a bit, so that could be an option. I don't know, we'll see, we'll think about that one. All right, I'm gonna go ahead, put these brake pads in, and we're gonna drop it down. Maybe we'll do an oil change, we'll see, and then we'll take it for a test drive, see what we can see. Okay, new pads are on, calipers on. Just gotta put the wheel back on. Just another thing I'm gonna point out, as you can see, I got all this chemicals all over my brand new jack, and you can see some leaking in there and up here. What that is, that's brake fluid. So when you push those pistons back, it's going to push brake fluid back up the line. The problem is I have a gasket seal leak up there. Let's go ahead and show you. It wasn't too bad of a one, but when I tried to push all this fluid back up the line, it's coming straight out the gasket there because the reservoir is full, and it's also coming out of the lid, you can see. But yeah, I need to get that gasket fixed pretty soon. It's just getting worse. All right guys, she's all done. New brake pads, and I did an oil change on her. Couldn't get the oil filter off, but it's not due to change for another 5,000 miles, so I'm gonna probably get a part that can remove that next time. I guess I tightened it by hand a little too much last time. All right guys, now we take it for a test, see if the brakes work. I got the jack back up on my passenger seat, kind of next to the generator. It's crushing everything. Hopefully it's not too bad. We'll see when we're driving along. Alright guys, oil change done, brakes are working so far. I haven't taken them out on the highway, but so far they're working fantastic. No noise, run like a breeze. Oh, this is a very bad road, by the way. It's one of the worst off-road roads. I've taken this van down. It's gotten worse since last year. I can't believe people tow trailers down here. Alright guys, so I am going back up the hill because I need reception. Otherwise I can't upload videos. Alright, time to try find another spot. Problem is, all the spots up the hill pretty much taken because that's where the reception is and there's more shade up there. Ugh. And the road gets much worse as you come down this way, even though it's pretty bad up there too. Okay guys, oh, there's an ATV coming. It's a couple of ATVs. Alright, we're gonna pull over, let these guys pass. Alright guys, so let me know in the comments, have any of you changed your brake pads before? Honestly, that's the first time on a vehicle I've ever done it, on a car I mean. I've done it plenty of times on a motorcycle, but not on a car. It's a little bit different, but kind of the same. Alright guys, and if you want to see me doing an oil change, I've already done an oil change video. If you go back into my history and the van life history, it will be in there. But I'll set a link below if you guys want to check that out. Alright guys, until next time, you know what to do. This is Aussie Van Man. We'll see you later. What's going on here?